I feel like that's wrong.
Thirsty. I have a girl code that I think everybody will probably do.
I don't care if it's a picture of the dog on the page. Nobody better like
though? Like, I feel like you should look at it like I deserve this. Yes, this is my money.
Hello, welcome back to the Melanated Opinion, and I'm Crystal. What up, peoples?
I'm Shanita.
Hey, y'all. Hey, I'm Takara. And today we have a guest. So we'll bring him in. So today our guest is Deontay, and he is somebody who I have known for the past 14 years. He and I share something very special, and it happens to be our 5-year-old daughter. Hey, Deontay. Hey, welcome to the show.
Hello. How y'all doing?
We're good. What about you?
I am well.
Well, that is good. We're excited that you're here with us, and we know it's going to be a fun show. We're going to do something a little fun, figure out a little something between you and Takara. So I think Shanita has a question that she was going to ask y'all.
Yes. So my question is, who do you think is more likely to let their significant other see their daughter before, or see your daughter before the other one? Like when you meet them and you're dating, who will be more likely to introduce their significant other first?
So I'll go first. So I think Deontay would be more likely to let his significant other meet Carrington first. What do you think, Deontay?
I was ready for the question. Takara.
Okay, so now y'all have to tell us why. Why do y'all think that, though?
Right.
No, because she's been first.
It'll probably be me.
So is it time frame, or you just
say that one more time?
Is it a set time frame for you, or you just whenever you feel it's appropriate?
Well, I think things should happen organically. I don't think you should necessarily put a date or a time on anything. I think you should probably just let things flow accordingly.
Okay, so I have a question to piggyback off that. What if, let's say Takara meets someone and they hit it off and it's 3 weeks and she's in love, whatever you want to call it. In her mind, she want to marry him 3 weeks. Do you think that's an appropriate time for her to introduce her daughter to him? 3 weeks, but she's in love.
Well, knowing Takara, she'll never be in love in 3 weeks.
In this scenario, she is.
Okay, in this scenario? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I hope not.
What do you think, Takara? What if he met someone and he was in love in 3 weeks?
So here's the thing. I mean, for him, I'm going to say no. But honestly, for me, because I don't play them type of games, I would say if I were to come to him and say, hey, I'm in love with this person, because of my personality and I don't do stuff like that, you probably should take me at my word, because I don't do stuff like that. Okay, but in all fairness, Deontay, now it's your chance. You get to ask us a question.
Cool. Who is the most likely to move to a foreign country?
Oh, that's easy. That's easy. Crystal.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if I could be there right now, I would. Like, I'm looking every day, trying to figure out where I'm going to be.
We were just talking about it a couple of hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Is that something you're interested in? Like, would you do it?
No. I mean, now I would definitely have a property in another country, but as far as officially move, probably not, unless I'm on a run.
Okay, then. Well, hopefully that'll never happen. Hopefully
not.
But let's start it off with a general question. And my question is like, so for both of y'all, what is some advice you would give someone about co-parenting? Like, and what's the best advice you think you can give a person about like working with their child's parent, the other parent, like if they're not in a relationship?
I'll go
Ooh.
first. Set clear expectations.
For example.
For example, I think the first thing you need to set is the responsibilities, understanding who's going to be responsible for what. And then kind of building it off on there as far as on expectations with time spent. Okay. And, I think that those would be again, setting clear expectations as far as with who's financially responsible for what you bring it to the table. And then putting it in black and white. And then, like I said, also with time, making sure that there's a clear understanding of these are the expectations with time.
I agree. I would also say, for us, I think we work really well together for the most part. When it comes to like Carrington's needs, I will say there really hasn't been a time where she's gone without anything, so we never really have issues as far as making sure her needs and honestly most of her wants are met. So we never have any issues there. I think, like he said, I'm very black and white as far as like, let's know like what we're doing, when we're doing it, and the time frame in which it needs to be done. So I will say, if anything, for me, those are the most important things, making sure that we have a plan and that we stick to it.
So what would be the reason for, you hear so many stigmas about co-parenting and how it don't work. So what would be something that would cause a co-parenting relationship not to work?
So let's be honest, it's not perfect. And we have a lot of good days, but we do have some days that are not so great. And I would say that miscommunication, and probably a lack of like wanting to hear each other, maybe like trying to get your point across without taking into consideration what the other person's trying to say, what they're trying to say and what their point of view is, because my point of view is different than Deontay's point of view. You know what I mean? Like he can only understand what he can understand from his side of things versus I can only understand what I can understand from my side of things. And so sometimes I think it's hard for him to hear me, and I think it's hard for me to hear him on some subjects. Specifically, I will say, like this whole busing situation for Carrington, we're coming into a lot of new things with her starting school this year, starting kindergarten. And, we're having to talk about before school programs and after school programs, and should she get on the bus and should she not get on the bus? I am for the bus.
Really?
I am. Her dad is not for the bus.
Okay, what is your reason for you being for the bus?
Because I need to get to work.
Okay, so Deontay, what's your reason for it?
It's very black and white for me.
Well, I'll answer your first question. So I think the thing that really affects, make things, say, a not so positive co-parenting situation is those that don't put the child first, right? I think at the end of the day, you have to make an agreement to that you're going to do things in the best interest of your child, and that child is priority above anything, right? And even if you guys may not be agreeing on something, we still have to discuss. Even if we're not on good terms, we still have to talk about the needs of that child. Now, as far as that busing situation, Takara is like, just throw her to the wolves. She's like, put her in an after school program, put her in the before school program, put her on a bus. And I'm like, well, let's not give her everything at one time. Let's kind of build up. This is a new environment for Carrington. Let's put her in a situation where, she can first get acclimated to the school, the new environment, new teacher. She's been at the same daycare since she was 6 months. And then I think we should add those additional things on. So then that way, I'm not really a fan of the bus at all. But I think, again, over time, maybe it may make sense. But I think for now, let's invest and be intentional about helping her grow into this new situation.
Okay, so you don't have to answer if it's too personal, but do you think that it's more strain on one parent than the other? Like, just say, for instance, the bus situation, if Takara has to take her to school and pick her up, so it's easier for you to say, no, don't put her on the bus, but she's the one who has to do it, or vice versa.
Yeah, no, I think, again, when you're making these type of decisions, I think you have to talk them out, right? And again, it's part of setting those clear expectations of, hey, I'm not a fan of her catching the bus, but this is what I'll do. I'm open to taking her to school every day.
Okay.
And I will say, to his credit, he did say that. He did say that. So we're gonna see. We'll work with it.
Well, I'll just say I was a fan of the bus. I hated riding the bus. Like, that was the worst thing ever for me. Like, pretty much, yeah. I don't think I ever had a good experience with the bus because we was right there downtown. So we either got on the bus last or got off first. So, of course, everybody would always be sitting there. And, they don't want us to share seats. Like, the buses was overcrowded. So a lot of times we'll have to sit on the edge or, like, have to sit with somebody who don't want. I hated the bus. I hated the bus.
Yeah, but do you think that's part of, like, developing, like, relationships and learning how to get along with other people and how the world is actually going to be?
No, because I didn't learn anything, but people were cruel.
That's a lesson, but that's a lesson though. People are cruel.
Yeah, but I mean, to me personally, because of my experience, I don't think I want my child riding the bus. I don't know. It was a horrible experience for me. And I think for my sister too. Now, I don't think my brothers really had that experience, but two of them got a car in high school. So, and he was driving and wouldn't take us.
See, and I rode the bus, not in elementary school, but in junior high school and high school. I rode the bus up until the point where I got a car. Now, in elementary, we lived next door to the school, so we walked to the school. But I didn't have bad experiences on the school bus. Maybe that is why I never considered it to be an issue.
Yeah, same for me. Like, I don't remember having any bad experiences too. But now I think about it, I'm pretty sure middle school, I didn't ride the bus because where I was going was so close. But elementary, I probably rode the bus with like my cousin and my uncle who's close to the same age. But I've never had a bad experience on a bus. So I can't relate either to bad experiences on a bus.
Yeah, not really. Did you have a bad experience, Deontay? Is that what your...
No, I'm just exposure and what you expose kids to time is not always. I'm just, let's slow walk the thing. I'm not necessarily a speed walker with transitions.
I mean, also, again, if we're being transparent here, like, I think that you would keep her very sheltered because earlier this week you were saying that you would have her in homeschool. I would never.
Well, I think it depends on the reason for the homeschooling though. Is it about like information, education, or is it about I don't want her to be exposed to the wrong thing? If that's the thing, then I can see your point, Takara. But education, then I can see his point.
I think it's a combination, right? For me, I want her to be exposed to real life situations. I think for her dad, I mean, you can speak for yourself. I think he wants her to have the best education, and be exposed to all different types of, like the best teachers and the one-on-one experiences and all of that. And I think he also wants to have control over the outside influences. But you can let them know if I'm off. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. I think that is very important. Again, as parents, we have to be intentional about our children's education and be intentional about leading them in the right direction. And sometimes, again, I'm not a fan of throwing, like saying, hey, okay, we're going to put you into all these things. I think that we have to be intentional, again, just about exposure. One, making sure that they have the best education. For me, my parents could necessarily put me in a situation that I can go to private school, or I can learn different languages. I can get exposed to, just a different part of education that everybody may not get. And so being that now I feel like we have the opportunity to, I would like to make sure that she's exposed to just a different, have a different look, exposed to different things, whether private education, homeschool education with a tutor, or with a private teacher, whatever it is, I'm kind of open to that. Her learning different languages, which I don't think she would necessarily get, where she's going. But again, I think that's where Takara's going to get. Hopefully I'm making sense.
Yeah. So if you had your choice, would you rather her be in homeschool or private school?
Private.
Okay.
Well, so if I do homeschool, I'm thinking of having a teacher, hiring someone to teach her full time. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm kind of open to either.
So would it be the homeschool where she goes to, where it's like a small setting and it's a homeschool teacher, or it'll just be her by herself?
I think the small setting.
Because I know, like, I'm not for homeschool. I don't know, because the pandemic for me was enough. Like, I think a lot of people don't realize how bad it is just being by yourself. Because I always thought, oh yeah, I would love to work from home. When you actually working from home, you not talking to nobody, you don't have anybody coming in and out, you're not really going to the stores. That's kind of hard, even though that's different than homeschool. But that's when I realized I do like people. Like, I like actually and being around people, even though I don't want to be around them 24/7, but I like the interaction. But I know Simone Biles, I know she said she didn't really like homeschool. She felt like she missed out on, like interacting, prom.
The social part of it.
So what do you think about that? Like, how parenting incorporate those type of things? Her first boyfriend.
Yeah, we're not there yet. I think that she has like 20 more years before that happens. But no, I think that you have to offset, certain things with that. So, like, of course, there has to be some type of social aspect, and I'm a fan of making sure that she's enrolled in programs. Carrington is pretty fortunate. She's done ballet, she's done gymnastics, she's done taekwondo, she's done swim. She's now skating, so she has an opportunity as well to connect with people from a social standpoint there. And I think, again, maybe the smaller classroom settings, I'm kind of split again between whether it's a smaller homeschool setting or if it's private school. I'm again, more so not necessarily, but just to have a little bit more sense of, intentionality behind her learning and behind her advancement.
Yep. Okay, well, I have a question that's totally unrelated to this for everybody.
Okay.
So I was looking on social media, I don't know, maybe like last week, I'm sure y'all saw the clip where the guy kicked the girl out of the car leaving the airport because he was under the impression that they were gonna like have sex, and she changed her mind, was like, nah, and he took her back to the airport, canceled her flight and everything. Did y'all see that?
I didn't see that.
I didn't watch the whole clip, but this is what I gathered from the headlines and stuff. So Takara didn't see it. Did you, Shanita, did you or Deontay see it?
Pink luggage and pink pants or something on?
I don't remember. I just remember that was...
But it was talking about that.
Yeah.
I saw a little bit of it.
Okay.
I didn't see it at all.
Yeah, so I feel like that's the scenario. So my question for y'all is, my question for Deontay is, do you think guys expect sex if they spend out a certain amount of money on a female?